YouTube, what's up? We're back, Hamlet, and just waking up here, and I figured I wanted to do this live video for the past couple days, but haven't had a chance till now. I figured let's knock this out. First of all, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and mash that like button, mash the subscribe button, drop a comment down below, and let us know what you think about this video. All right, and today's topic of this video is who I was. First of all, I get a lot of questions, right? Who the beep, right, is Hamlet Dubois, right? So today's discussion is who I was before trucking and who I am now, right? This video is not about myself. It's nearly a reflection of explaining to you of where I came up from, where I grew up, what I did in my life, and my journey along coming up in this game. And I'm just at the end of the day, I'm just a simple man, just like all you other folks that's just trying to get the bag out here, right? So hopefully it's a motivational video. On top of that, if you're not already a member of the SoCal Trucker Gang, go ahead and join the SoCal Trucker Gang group on Facebook, and all you have to put in SoCal Trucker Gang. And shout out to SoCal for giving me a shout out on his YouTube. Appreciate that, man. Without further ado, let's see who was the first one in here. Shelton Woomley. What's up? How you doing, brother? We got Quincy Graham. Where you from, G? We're gonna get into that right now. Chio Rocho, what's up? And C Melon, what's good, brother? How you doing, man? Hope you're enjoying your Labor Day weekend. We got Rog Sean, mash the button. Exactly. There you go. You already know, Rog Sean. Mash that like button. SoCal sent me Shelton Woomley. Awesome. All right. So let's talk about it. Who am I? Yo, I apologize for the little fro I got going on. But anyways, I'm waking up here. I don't even know where to begin. I'm sorry I didn't really think about, how to start this video. But essentially, I'm from the Bronx. From the Bronx, New York. If you don't know where that is, it's one of the 5 boroughs in New York City. I grew up with my younger sister and younger brother, single mom, and that's how I grew up most of my life. I went to school in one of my high schools that I went to was what do you call that damn place? Nearby the co-ops. Man, the school ghetto as hell. Forgot about it. Truman? Yeah, Truman. I went to Truman for a little bit, but the main school I went to was one of those small schools that they kind of started up as a project. Anyways, grew up in the Bronx most of my life. Started working when I was 14, 15 years old as a pizza delivery boy. And I was working out in Jamaica, Queens, and I was taking the train. I was taking the train every day to go make some money, And I was always one of those guys that, always was looking for the job, always, looking to make money, even though, I was at school because, my mama wasn't, she ain't had it like that, or we didn't have it like that, really. All she had was the money to support us growing up and really just support, put food on the table and, pay the rent, because that's how anybody from the city knows the rent and knows the lifestyle of living in New York City, that you're living for the weekend for most of the part, or you're living to pay ends meet, and that's the kind of environment I grew up in. And so really I had to get a job in order to put a new pair of kicks on my feet, or looking to get the new game or anything like that. So anyways, once I matured, once I got like 17, 18, got out of high school, didn't become a drug Didn't mess around with any drugs because, you know, thank God to my mama. She never wanted me outside hanging out on the street. And, you know, to this day, I thank her for that. You know, I know when I was growing up, man, I was losing my mind. I was like, you know, all my friends get to be out here in the streets, you know, hanging out with, you know, YouTube crashed. So sorry about that. So anyways, what I was saying was, you know, I was getting mad at mom, like, you know, I wanted to hang out in the streets or in the corner with my buddies or not. And she's like, no, you're going to get in trouble. You're going to get killed out here and all this. And, you know, and I ain't see that when I was growing up. And, you know, she was right. But anyhow, without that, you know, thank God to my mama, you know, for watching out over us, you know, not letting us, you know, be a product of the streets and, you know, whether or not selling drugs or whatever might have you. So anyways, I was able to get out of high school, you know, and for a lot of folks that grew up in my environment, that right there on its own, coming from where I came from, is like graduating college, because the numbers are against you, you know. They literally are. You know, you're either gonna get a shorty pregnant, you're gonna get shot, you're gonna join a gang, or you're gonna sell dope, and you know, you're gonna sell crack on the corner, right? Or you're gonna be in jail. So either way, you fucked, right? And anyways, luckily, you know, for me, I got out of that. I was able to graduate high school, and I went to college. I did college for like, man, 6 months. I didn't really like it, honestly. I just couldn't stand living. I just couldn't stand the books too much. And then I got this new, you know, that's when I got my first car, which was a Jeep Wrangler. No, it wasn't the first car. It was the second car. But the first car I really fell in love with was a Jeep Wrangler. And one day, I don't know what gave me the aspirations, but I took this damn thing apart. Mainly because the frame needed to be replaced. And I rented out a little spot, garage spot, and I started taking things apart, and I put everything back together essentially. And then that's when I got into, you know, doing mechanic stuff. And then, you know, I was just trying to make money in any kind of way. So essentially, after, you know, learning on my own, I started doing people's brakes. I was the dude at AutoZone in the corner with his toolbox, waiting to be hired by, you know, one of the patrons from AutoZone, or somebody that just got brake parts. Hey, my man, change my brakes for $50, or, you know, change this brake line, or, you know, replace my batteries, or you know, shit like that. And I was literally hustling every day of the week. I was working on somebody's car. I had a little clientele, you know. And what I didn't know was I essentially had my own business at that point, you know. But I was too young-minded to like really realize what I had in my hands, you know. I just thought, you know, man, I'm just trying to scrape by $50 on, you know, to put some money on the table to get some food and to help my mom, right? And so that my brother and sister could get out of high school or whatnot, right? So eventually I stopped doing that, and I went to work for a company, and it was Pep Boys, and that didn't last too long. I mean, I had a lot of aspirations, and then they didn't want to. There was a lot of red tape. They didn't want me working on some cars or this, that, the third, and you know, I was showing them, yo, my mans, I want to be put on this, like, cause I want to learn and all this stuff, you know. And I was working the long hours, you know, doing things that nobody wanted to do just because I wanted to step up into the game, you know, and just get ahead of life, you know. A lot of my mentality worship when I was growing up, right, I feel like came from the pizzeria. There was this one guy, he was Mexican, believe it or not. I was working with illegal Mexicans, yes I was, in the pizzeria, you know. For a lot of people, depending on like what job you're doing in the city, you're probably gonna be working with some illegals, right? And they were cool dudes, you know. And he always talked to me in Spanish, and you know, he showed me the right way of, you know, working hard, and that you're gonna, by working hard, you know, it's gonna pay off, and you should take pride in your work and all that, right? And that really, and he drilled it into me, man. This was like military training for me. Literally beat me into, because as a young buck, I apologize. This thing is crashing. This thing is crashing. But if you guys are still with me, drop a comment just so I can see that, this feed is still coming in. But anyways, as a young buck growing up, the last thing you really, last thing you really care about is work. But, nobody, especially when you don't have that figure in your life, especially when you don't have that figure in your life, that fatherly figure. My father wasn't around during that time too much, but growing up, I didn't have that figure to like really, and I'm not gonna diss my dad right now, but things are much like, he came from time to time, to kind of show me show me around, but it wasn't there. Like, I wasn't a product of the two family household, right? Where you have that constant, like, no son, you got to do it like this, no son, this is the, I didn't have that, and so I was just, I was just doing me in a sort of sense, which a lot of guys do that, up in the streets in the Bronx, or, because that's I guess that's a problem with our, one of our generations in our communities, is we're a product of the environment we grow in, and if you don't have that family support, that foundation, you're going to be getting into a lot of trouble, right? Especially if you're, if your mom or your dad don't got, the magnifying glass on you for every little thing that you're doing. But I mean, anyways, that's getting off subject right there. But essentially, this man, this Mexican dude, he drilled it into me, take passion in your work hard, don't fucking stop. If you're gonna take a lunch, a little, grab something to eat, shove it in your mouth, keep moving, and I went with it. I didn't like it at first, because I was a young buck and I was just, I wanted to text on the phone. That's when we had the little mobile flip phones, the Sidekick, and I was on there on Instant Messenger and AIM, and I wanted to talk to all the girls and all that, and he was like, yo, my man, just cut it out with that, get to work, you see me, I'm providing for my whole family, got 5 kids, got a wife, and I got to pay rent, and, making as shitty money as I am making, I still got to work, you know what I mean? People counting on me. And so he drilled that into me, and that's how I got my, I guess my workmanship, or like my hard work ethic, and I thank that man, Genaro. God bless your soul, man. I really appreciate that you did that to me, because that tool of you showing that in my life was definitely, there's no, how do I say it? There's one of those few life lessons that are irreplaceable, right? And I want to pass that down to, my kids as well. Because it definitely helped make who I am today, right? And let's see. Well, it was just one day I was walking down the block on Fordham Road, right? If anybody know where Fordham Road is, anybody from the city, in here, go ahead and put a hands up, all right? Repping for New York, right? But I was walking down Fordham, and I seen the military guys, right? And guys, dressed up in the uniform, and it's funny because I was always getting slammed, getting messages from the military in the mail, join the Navy, join this, and I was like, man, I ain't joining none of that. I'm out of, get out of here. I ain't trying to die. And one of these days, there was a Spanish dude in the uniform, and I was like, yo, what's good? Like, how you liking it? Because I felt like, and this is not a disrespect to, Hispanics, blacks, or white people. I'm not gonna go into that, right? This is not disrespect, but when I seen a guy from my color wearing the same uniform and doing something different with his life, I needed to ask him, like, because at that point, when you see somebody where you come from, where you're down here and you see somebody like up here, you're like, how can I get here? right? Like, how can I get to what you're doing? Like, you know, what is it that you're doing? Or questions, you know? And I'm like, you know, how are you liking it? And he said, man, this is awesome, blah, blah, you know. And he sold me the dream, the Army dream, right? And it was all right, because he told me, like, you know, the Army's gonna pay for your training, this, that, the third. You're gonna make this much, la da da do. You're gonna travel. You're gonna do this, that, the third. And that sounded I don't know. That sounded like the dream. It sounded what I needed, right? And plus, he said, "Yo, you could work on a Humvees." I was like, "What?" You know, like, you can work on Humvees. I was like, "Well, how about helicopters?" Or at first, I wasn't even thinking about helicopters. I was thinking about airplanes. And he was like, "You could work on our airplanes or our helicopters." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, man." I was like, "Sign me up," you know, sign me up, because that sounds pretty dope, you know? And that's where I was about 20 years old, and I joined the Army. And I was a helicopter mechanic. I went to South Korea for my first duty station, and that's where I met my wife. And she's not Korean, she's Canadian. She was teaching English in Korea, and beautiful wife. And I was there for about 2 years. Then I moved over to Fort Drum, upstate New York. I was there for a little bit. For the rest of my career, I went to Afghanistan for about 9 months, if I remember. And then I got out of the military, you know. Essentially, I was in the military for a little bit, and I was going to make a life out of the military. I was going to do the 20 years. And it was up until, like, really my last years of being in the Army, where I started seeing a lot of different things in the leadership, right? And in the higher ups, like, how, you know, the political stuff, right? Like, it was no longer about do the job and do what you're told and move on and drive on, right? It wasn't, you know, yes sir, no sergeant. You know, it was no longer that. It was like, I was now NCO, and I was telling, you know, the privates, yo, I need you to do this, that, the third. And then, you know, at the same time, first sergeant or platoon sergeant was letting me know, hey, we got to do this, this, and third. And then there was a lot of things coming down the pipe that I just really did not agree up. You know, I agreed on, but, you know, you do what you're told and you drive on, right? Because you don't have a say in the Army, right? Um, and that's the thing. It's like, I signed up for the Army, and when I was growing in the Army, a lot of things changed. That it wasn't the Army that I was in before, right? And so I guess that's really one of the main things that, you know, I didn't want to do anymore. You see what I'm saying? And then so I started looking at different careers out here. And luckily for me, you know, in the military, you always been told, have a backup plan. You know, if you're going to do this when you get out, make sure you have a backup plan. And luckily for me, they had a CDL school on post, where, you know, I seen trucks driving around and had big old signs, CDL training, student driver driving, be careful, right? And I signed myself up. I said, hell, this might be just a backup plan, you know, because I drive the big trucks already, you know. I drive the Humvees, the LMTVs, you know, the big trucks. It can't be any different, right? And so I signed myself up for that. And I was like, but that was never the game plan, right? That was never the game plan. What I was going to do was do some construction, because I was already working on my house and working on other people's house in the military, doing, you know, off to the side. And I was going to do that, just that. But, you know, as time progressed and I was in CDL school and jobs were coming out, I was like, you know, this might sound interesting, you know. And that's when I put it in my head, like, you know, at that point, I never knew I wanted to be an owner-operator, right? I never knew what the hell an owner-operator was. I thought it was just, here's your truck, company give you your truck, and that's it, you know? I didn't know you had options out here and all these other different scenarios, you know? And let me see, I didn't know you had options out here. let's take a quick second and read everything that everybody's dropping on here, because a lot of people are saying stuff. We got Jesanio B. Luciano still with you. Appreciate it. Still working. Keep getting it, homeowner. Thanks, man. That is good. You're inspiring a lot of people in their life, and your example for others. Matthew So. Well, I hope I can keep it inspiring, but like I said, you guys are listening to the story. I'm essentially just another one of you guys, right? There wasn't no silver spoon. There wasn't no, you got this part of, you got started in this part of your life. You had 50 bands before you started trucking. It was none of that shit. All right. It was hard work. Wake up in the morning, eat, keep moving, be away from the family, and keep doing it again, right? It was nothing but that. A lot of people don't like that shit, because a lot of people, they want that young money, they want that fast money. And this shit is not fast money. Trucker Z33, you can achieve. Exactly. Everybody, you can achieve. Chio Rocha, started working when I was 11 as a bag boy. Same mindset growing up. If you made it to 18 out of the hood, you accomplished something. There you go, Chio Rocha. And you don't have to be just from New York to be in that same mindset. If you got it, if you made it to 18 years old, I mean, you were starting the next chapter in your life. Z, I don't know how to say your name, man. We got Z Zalt Marius. Do you know parking for trucks in New Jersey? There's this parking in New Jersey, if that's what you're asking me. Hey Hamlet, happy Labor Day. Charles Brent, happy Labor Day, my man's looking sick with that new Lone Star. Man, that paint job is nice, man. I don't know. Do you hire a lease operator? Yes and no. I guess you have to have your own truck. Dope Law, you inspire me. What is your CSA score? I don't know. I still got to look that up. But right now we had a couple. I had a couple instances where I got shut down, so the CSA score is not the best right now, I think. But we're looking to improve it. We got before the year's up to fix all the numbers, and we're gonna do just that, right? We got Abdul Ophelia. Hi bro, how you doing? Hey, I'm doing good, man. Great Labor Day weekend, and let's get back into it. So I started working for US Express once I got out, right? And I did teaming with my brother, right? Just before I got out, and I was looking at trucking. My dad was getting into trucking. That's the funny part, right? And my dad was in school the same time I got in school. And my pops, he's like 50 some years old, and he was getting into trucking. He was at Roadmasters, right? And he was literally going to school the same time I was going through. Only difference is I still had to wait a little bit of time until I got out of the military to actually drive the truck, where he finished the Roadmasters thing and he started driving for Trans Am. And that didn't last too long. I think it lasted about 4 or 5 months, and then he got like a bad taste of trucking. And right around when I was still in school, I called my brother, my younger brother, which he was, he wasn't really doing too much with his life, and my young brother, he's about 4 years younger than me. And so I was like, yo bro, I'm doing this trucking thing, and you can get into it because I know you like to drive too, and they got this thing called team driving, and I don't know, maybe we can do this, we can set up, you can come up here, live with me in the house, and come to school here. You don't got to worry about bills, and just go to school, you know what I'm saying? And my brother did just that. He left what he was doing in the city, which he was just a pool boy, and he got into trucking. He went to the same school I went to, and hard work and determination, right? Hard work and determination. He woke up every day from Syracuse and drove to school, and with very little money to eat on, to pass by on, right? To eat by. He did that for 4 months, doing that school, and it wasn't easy for him. It really wasn't. You know, he had to cut a lot of stuff, his lifestyle, the way he was living, just to start from the bottom, just to get into trucking, right? And essentially, once he got out of school, we both signed up for U.S. Express, and we both started team driving, right? Both started team driving, and we were driving together, and we did that for about 4 months. We were U.S. Express, and we were just getting our chains yanked around. You see what I'm saying? Like, we were asking for miles. You know, we're like two hustlers. You know what I'm saying? And we're just trying to make the most money that we can out here. And you know, during that time, we started learning a little bit about, you know, getting a truck, but we weren't really, you know, into that. You know, then we went to work for some small company, and they started giving us miles. I mean, and then we started doing a lot more. Trucking changed completely, which is going to be another video once I left the mega carriers, right? And then we split up for a little bit. That's because we noticed we were making more money being solo drivers than team drivers, believe it or not. And then we did that, and we did that. Sorry, gotta make this focus. There we go. And we did that, and eventually we bought we got into the lease truck. All right, we got into the lease truck, and then he got out of the lease truck, and you know, I'm gonna leave the second part of the story out, the lease truck, for the next video. But essentially, you know, I did the lease truck, I did team driving with the lease truck. I had the lease truck for, man, not even a year. It must have been like 8 months, and about 9 months, something like that. And that's when I bought my first truck. And then I didn't do my due diligence and look at the truck the right way the first time, so I had to buy another one. And so I bought another one, and that's when I took SoCal's advice, and that's when I bought that other one, and I got into my authority and all that other stuff, where I am today, right? And so I've been talking for the last 28 minutes explaining the story, and I hope you can understand the gist that anybody in my shoes, anybody, right? Anybody can do what I'm doing, right? What I'm doing is not like God's creation or anything like that. With some, you know, very simple business stuff and some, you know, a good foundation of people supporting you, right? And some money saved up and some hard work, right? All these things, right? Because you can't have one or the other, right? You gotta have, if you're gonna have hard work, but you're not gonna have determination, then are you really set out to do, are you really ready for this? You know, because you might just want to quit after seeing that you have to keep doing this over and over, right? And you might not see that it might pay off over in the long term. So, like I said, this is just me. This video wasn't about me. It was just more of an inspirational video to others out there that were in my shoes, that grew up in the Bronx or wherever, or just, you know, living paycheck to paycheck, right? And want a different way of life for themselves and for their family or whatever. You know, you don't have to go into what I'm doing exactly, right? There's so many facets of trucking, like different places, different ways to make money in trucking, that you don't have to. YouTube has crashed for the third time. Anyways, so many different areas in trucking that you don't have to just do one thing, right? There's so many different areas you don't have to do just one thing. You don't have to be a fleet owner. You don't have to be an owner-op. You can be a company driver. You can be an owner-op. You could be a fleet owner. You could be a broker. I mean, you could be a lease company, getting, you know, doing lease trucks for lease operators, you know. You could be a truck dealer. You could be a truck mechanic. You can have your own business fixing trucks, broken trucks down out on the road. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. You could be a dispatcher, right? So many different things you can do. You can be just a planner for a trucking company that's coming up in the game, right? So many. You can be a recruiter, a driver recruiter. There's so many different things. So a lot of people tell me, you know, oh, I just don't want to just drive trucks, you know. And I'm like, my man, you got it all twisted if you think this is just driving a truck. You really do. You know, you need to talk to other people and expand your mind and network, because there's just more to this than just driving a truck, you know. And anyways, I will say this, you know, if you are going to start doing something trucking related, you should drive the truck. You should do it. You should do it for at least a year. You should really understand what is, because everything, all those jobs are revolving around driving a truck, right? So if you don't understand, right, what the job entails of, how can you tell other people what to do, right? Like, how are you going to be a dispatcher, right? Now, and other people do it, right? But like in the military, you know, they always said, you know, don't give something of, sorry, don't tell your Joe something that you wouldn't do yourself, right? So if you knew how to drive a truck, you knew hours of service, you know how to dispatch a truck, right? Makes sense, right? If you were owner op, right, and you know the rates and you become a broker, well, you know what rate is not going to be fair, and you know that you're, you know, where you're going to have problems with what drivers and whatnot. You know, they're just, and as a recruiter, if you've been driving for so long, you know when somebody's going to be lying to you. You see what I'm saying? So you should drive a truck, you know, for a little bit to understand the game, so that if, you know, you're looking to get out of the truck, if you're looking to get out of the truck, then, you know, you I guess, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. There's a comment down below right here. No diss, Hamlet, but Dope Law, you can peek on SoCal page and see a little of that. Again, no disrespect, G. Let's see what the hell is going on here. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. All right, Anthony Facer, salute to you, sir. I have a similar story. Appreciate your service, brother. Hey, I appreciate your service. If you, oh no, sorry, I don't. You didn't announce that you were in the military. Sorry about that. But thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. Dad, Charles Brandt. Dad always told me hard work you can accomplish. Hard work you can accomplish anything. Exactly. Do you drive over the road 48 states, Matthew? Yes, I do. I don't really drive to California too much. And thanks, Hamlet. After I wash the truck, I hit rain 9 hours later. That's how it be, man. That's how you bring the rain, man. You just got to get the truck washed. And that's how you can say, hey, I want it to rain. Right? Zizala, I have my own truck. I'm leased under Pinnacle Freight Line from Secaucus, New Jersey. Ah, all right. Hey, man, hit me up on Facebook. The name is Hamlet Dubois. And we could talk on there. Homeowner, I love the videos. A lot of very essential content needed to start your own business. There's only a few of you on here that truly drop the breadcrumbs needed. Thank you, man, for your service as well. Thank you, homeowner, and appreciate that. They got 29 people up in here. Let's smash that like button, right? Or mash the dislike button. Whatever you feel, you know. Drop a comment below at the end of the video. Don't forget to do that. Subscribe, right? And don't forget to subscribe to the SoCal Trucker Gang, where we drop more information on there from time to time. All right, SoCal Trucker Gang group. All right, on Facebook. All right, Zimala, I don't have experience with the brokers and negotiations with them, and that's the thing. You gotta learn, right? You gotta have a good support system to know what you're dealing with, because, you know, otherwise you're gonna be caught out here with your pants over your ass, right? Let's see. Dope Law, can you give us a step-by-step detailed blueprint on your journey and how to be successful owner op as you go along in life, liking videos and upload? Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it, but a lot of it, a lot of this is, like I said, it's just simple simple stuff, like SoCal says, you can get into a lease truck. Yes, you can. You can do what other people are doing, what a lot of people are doing, which is, you can get into a lease truck, um, but I went that way and I found that that wasn't successful for myself. You see what I'm saying? So you got to figure out what's going to be successful for you. For me, it was buying these paid off trucks that really got me successful because the trucks are paid off essentially, and you don't have to worry about, dudes coming to take your truck if you can't make a payment or whatever may have you, and we'll get into that later into another video. All right. Matthew, so I will be going back driving this month with CFI Central for CFI. I can't remember that. My goal is owner op, own nice Kenworth with a 144-inch sleeper. Holy shit. Flatbed Dominican, what's good, my Dominicans? I'm trying to buy a truck from PA. Do you subject I buy the truck out of, do you suggest I buy the truck out of PA? You can buy the truck anywhere, right? All the trucks I bought one truck out of Kentucky, one truck out of New York, another truck out of North Carolina. I buy them from wherever. If the truck is good, the truck is good, right? I mean, look at SoCal. He bought a truck out from Texas. So don't let the state determine where the hell you're gonna buy the truck from. This, at the end of the day, this truck is gonna make you, it's gonna make you money, right? And if it's a good truck, it's a good truck. Go out bat for it, right? CMA Long, hard work and dedication. There you go. And that's coming up from an owner op himself. Has been in the game for more than 10 years plus. Joshua Perkins, you in Georgia yet, bro? I'm about to, and that is my new team driver right there, Joshua Perkins. Hey, not yet, brother. I gotta deliver this empty back, and then I'll be grabbing the flatbed, and essentially from there, I'll be in Georgia tonight. All right, so we'll talk later on the phone, bro. Where did you get these paid off trucks? Auction, how do you find them? Look in the video, 302 Dre. Look in the video. How to buy a $15,000 truck, how I bought it. It's down in the history of the videos. If you scroll down, look at that. I did a lot of it through Facebook. A lot of times you could be just driving down the road and you could see a truck, posted up by the, by the on-ramp or off-ramp or just one of those state highways and be like, truck for sale. Just stop by and take a look at the truck. You gotta, if you're serious about doing things, you gotta get into the mindset, into the mind frame of stopping and looking at it, because that's going to really tell you that you're really looking to do this, and you're not, oh, let me just look at a truck here, I really like it, and, this shit is not going to fall into your laps, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not. You got to work hard for it. You really got to work hard for this. It's not going to fall on your lap. It didn't fall in my lap. It's literally been, and you don't have to be out, and there's another video you could talk about, driving over the road, why choose to drive over the road versus, local or regional. We can talk about it all day, but, anyways, now, a little bit info. I'm at 3 paid off trucks, and we have 2 owner ops signed on to the authority. So essentially, we're running under 5 trucks. So, and when we started in April, and I'm pretty happy of where things are going. There's not everything went to plan, but I'm still happy that we're here. And at the end of the day, you got to remain humble, right? Because you could lose this at any day, right? There's nothing guaranteed in trucking, right? And you could lose it all for whatever reason, right? Let's see. I've seen a lot of trucks in yards and back roads for sale. There you go, Charles Bryant. And that's from another owner op. That's, you just by driving down the road, you're gonna see trucks for sale. So just keep your eye out. Have a pen and paper ready, and keep your eye out. Joshua Perkins, why don't you do the ports, bro? I don't do the ports because I don't live nearby any ports, unfortunately. And I did say I'm from New York City, right? And so I guess that's why you're probably asking me why I don't do the ports. I don't live in New York City anymore. I live upstate New York, an hour north of Syracuse. So there's no ports up there, you know, and so that's why I don't do ports. If you're asking me, that's yeah, that's pretty much it. We've been here for 41 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. All right, that's a record. No, I don't know if that's a record, but the next video is going to be a record, right? Which is the next part of the story, the disaster of my lease truck, right? And we'll talk about, why I decided to go on a lease truck and what mindset I was with at that point in time, and all that. And maybe you guys can look towards that video tomorrow if I got some time. If not, it'll probably be Tuesday, Wednesday. But anyways, folks, I think if we got any last minute questions, let's answer them now. Go ahead and drop them down below, and we'll get them answered. If you want to drive for Cybertron, which is myself, right? Send an email to what do you call it? Jesus, what is it called? recruiting@cybertronenterprises.com, right? We'll drop the description and the link and all that. Or if you're an owner op looking to find a good company to lease onto, go ahead and send your application there. Send your request on there. All right, we got 2 owner ops leased on, and there's a lot of different options that you can do here. And let's see what we got here. Yo guys, let me turn this truck on. It is fucking hot in here. Alright. Quincy Graham, did you save up before a lease truck? If so, any tips? Yeah, you have to, because they're gonna require a down payment on the lease truck, and then you gotta have money just in case anything happens. Shoot, my brand new truck broke down within the first 9,000 miles or 20,000 miles, and I still had to pay the truck note and everything, even though I was in a hotel and all that. But yeah, you gotta have money to get into any business. You gotta have money, folks. This is you gotta come prepared, because otherwise if you ain't coming with money, it's just gonna fail, What other truckers and other people do you watch on YouTube? I watch a lot of times SoCal. I do watch Chasing Andrew Jackson. We got this new person that just started. What do you call it? April Red, the Duchess trucker. All right, and I watch Terry Russian, which is one of my business partners, not partners, but associates. And I don't want to feel like I'm leaving out anybody else, but mainly that's the people who I follow quite often. I watch other people's videos from time to time, but yeah. And we got the last thing up here. Warden Usa, what up though? What's going on, brother? Anyways, hope you guys enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and thank you for staying in and watching the whole 45 minutes of this. Last question. How long you had your MC and DOT? Just started my LLC, also getting my authority as we speak. Insurance is not a problem. 18 years experience. My authority has only been active since April this year, right? So that's May, June, July, August, September, almost 5-6 months. So yeah, hope that answers your question. We got Anthony Congress. Yo, Rashad Curry, nice talking to you yesterday. Rashad Curry, what's good, brother? Thanks for letting me know you see my truck. You see the truck in the trailer. Appreciate that, man. Homeowner, awesome, happy for you, man. Hey, I'm happy for you guys. If you're getting out here, get that money, right? And just understand the message of the video, right? And you can use this as inspirational, to think about as a company driver, or if you're a lease op, looking to get into the, into the big boy game of being an owner op and all that other stuff, yeah. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Drop a comment below. At the end of the day, folks, it all comes down to this. Get busy living, or you get busy dying. It's your boy Hamlet. Check y'all later.